All right. Okay, well, this is the Municipal Truth and Reconciliation Committee meeting for Tuesday, April 15th, 2025. I shall now call the meeting to order. Number one and number two, the land acknowledgement. Would anybody?
And again, we acknowledge we are on the traditional territory of the Sioux First Nation within Treaty 3, and that many of the people and communities that we serve in Sioux Lookout, traditionally known as Wanani Wangang, meaning Bay of Sandy Beaches, comes from Treaties 5 and 9.
Great, thank you. Thank you, Reese. And we'll move on to number three now. On the agenda, 3A, introduction of amendments to the agenda. So are there any amendments? No, okay. Then we'll move on to confirmation of the agenda. So we need a mover. Reese and hold on.
Did she give you the forms? If you give me the forms, I can fill them out for you.
Oh, no,
But you have to make it in the forms that she fills out.
no, I don't have one.
What form? The first, who seconds is, and, oh, you've got, you're doing it. Okay.
I think she's doing it, yeah. Okay, Reese and Joel. All in favor, show of hands, yes. Okay, number 4, declarations of pecuniary interest. There are none. And we'll move on to number 5, the adoption of the minutes. The minutes from March 18th, 2025. The meeting that we had. Okay. Okay, so the meeting minutes. Meeting minutes, are they being moved? I'll put June and then Reese. Second, all in favor, yes. Okay. All right, moving right along. Number 6, the business arising from the minutes. So is there anything that we can discuss? We had the working group check in. Cabinet discussion. The website update. And the events. Excuse me. And then we went back to the work plan. The report was taken to council March 19th. The land acknowledgement was approved. Yes, okay.
Yeah, so the number 4 item on the agenda is the update, because I've given you copies of everything.
Well, okay, everything's there. We're gonna talk about it anyway. Okay. All right then, so then we'll just go on to, since there's no real discussion for number 6, the business arising, we'll move on to number 7. Number 7, delegation, presentation, committee presentation. I'm assuming there are none, so. And none for that. And then number 8, this is where we'll talk about some of the items brought up the last meeting. So the number 1 is the update on the gala, and I think it was Alana who was.
Yes, it's Alana.
Then-
She's supposed to be coming, right? So
Yes.
she'll be here and we can go back to that.
Okay, we'll wait for Lana. And then the proposed new site for the memorial.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and the door decals.
Perfect, yeah, I just thought that we should put this back on the agenda. Everybody pick it out. The only thing is I still haven't heard back about the translation into syllabics.
Okay,
Unless maybe, do we want to continue with like this design, you know what I mean, like with as it is now, or?
I think we should just proceed with
yeah,
the words. Yeah.
Yeah,
the only thing I see is that one Nangyang has two different spellings.
yeah, I meant to, I need to switch this to the one that we have on our land acknowledgement.
Okay. So that'll change.
Then,
Now, are you going to reach out to Cat's Paw and see if we can get them printed as typo?
Yeah. it'll be-
Will they be this size?
No, I think we did the same size as the ones that the chamber has.
So smaller?
Yeah, smaller, yeah.
Be a quarter of this size then?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
It's a quarter of a page. Okay.
Yeah, probably like that.
Okay, go on one page and then we'll get businesses to put them up in their businesses, right?
Yeah. How
Okay.
many should I ask for a quote for, like 20?
How many businesses do you think we have in town? There's no data on that.
There might be data, but I don't have it.
Yeah.
Maybe try to do a maximum of like $500. You know what I mean? Like what should be like the maximum amount?
I think.
So I mean, I think we need to consider the fact that potentially even all of the businesses in town may not want to put one up there.
Yeah.
It might be worth, before you get quote, finding out how many businesses might be interested.
Okay.
Well, I actually don't think that. I think that we should get 50 printed.
Yeah, I
And
think
then-
it's printed. It's just,
Then we'll go and visit everyone. And I don't believe that people will be, too many people will turn us down.
Well, I was just thinking like they may not want to post things on their wall, like maybe they have a policy or something that they don't post for anything.
Yeah.
Outside of themselves, so you know,
Yeah, because the concept that this is a door deco. So
Yeah.
I think we can easily distribute 50 of them.
50? Okay, so should I do 25 of each? 25 of?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Okay.
25?
yeah. Because I would say that there's at least 25 agents in town. And there has to be
Yeah, like I'm sure,
25 retail businesses.
yeah, and Tikanagan,
Businesses.
hospital.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I'll do that after.
Now, number 4, the update following
So
the.
should we put a maximum money on it before we,
Oh,
do we have a
sorry.
motion?
well, if he's just getting a quote, or we're getting them actually printed, because you said quote first.
Should I say like to a maximum of $500?
I think
You know
that's
what I mean?
a lot.
Is that a
I
lot? Yeah.
think $500 to print 50 things is. a lot.
Okay. What's like
I
the
think-
max number?
Let's go to see how many we can get for $250.
250?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so
Okay.
Do we need a motion for that?
If you're spending money, yes, you do.
Okay, let's make a motion.
So,
A motion that we spend $250 on door decals, advertising, welcome to Sioux Lookout, we're glad you're here in English and in Ojibwe. Motion by me, I guess.
Yeah, I'll second it.
Second it.
okay.
All in favor?
Yeah.
No, we should also acknowledge that that is the original name of Sioux Lookout. Like
Yes.
Sioux Lookout's original name was this, just to put that out there.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, maybe once it's already, maybe we can do a social media post with the new
Mhm.
intro, right? And be like, this is what it says, this is what it means.
yeah,
Yeah.
good idea.
Number 4, the update following the council meeting. And who's giving that?
I think Megan.
Megan?
So I have, given you all a copy of the approved work plan, the word draft is removed off of it from last time. The actual resolution that, like, this is the copy of the true certified resolution with the, land acknowledgement on it. I have provided a copy of this to Chris and asked him to put it on the website. And then also the updated terms of service, which you have a copy of with the bylaws attached.
Perfect.
The changes to the terms of service are fairly minor, but they're also quite large in like reality. So we changed the number for quorum, because it used to be 5, to half of the active membership. So right now we have 6 members that are active. You need a minimum of 30.
Which means a working committee can only be 2 people.
Yes. Before it turns into a meeting.
Yes.
As we get more people, we will not have to update.
Yeah.
The terms of service because of the way it's written, which was done on purpose.
Yeah.
So if you have any questions about that, let me know. If not, you're good. And that's pretty much the whole update.
Okay.
I do want to, I should have mentioned this as well, as far as the website is concerned. I did forward all of the photographs and all the information to Chris. I need to, the aerial photo that I have, Aileen sent it to me and said that we have permission from the photographer. But I need that in writing, so I have emailed Aileen to ask, like, do you even have an email from him saying this, or can I get contact information?
I'm friends with Jeremy Long, just to reach out to him and
Yeah, and he's really just as we have permission to use it, that's perfect.
I screenshot a chat, it doesn't have to be like an email.
It's something
I would
official.
prefer that it come from him directly, that way that I can say, this is his email, this is where he's sending it from.
Okay, okay, yeah, no worries.
If he can send it to me directly, that's fine.
Just to your.
Just HR,
HR, okay.
HR@siouxlookout.ca. Nice and simple.
Perfect.
No, I wanted to talk about the, I thought there being a business somewhere, about the museum stand. So now that we have the cases at the airport,
Mhm.
so we got a second case set up at the airport. It's Reese and I took it out there.
That's a big
And-
one, that large, the tall one?
No, it's not that, no. we
Oh,
didn't get the
okay.
big one. We got one donated by the Friendship Center.
Oh.
So it's almost exactly the same as the
Okay.
one we had before, except the legs are longer, so
Yeah.
the same concept.
Okay.
And Ronnie Ramaswamy
Mhm.
put it together for us because the legs were not attached. So he did the work. So we'd like to acknowledge that, and we appreciate his work. So he cleaned it and
Okay.
Oh,
put the legs on for us. So it's out there. So we're still waiting for Meredith and her staff. Once their youth programming is up and running, they're gonna get us some stuff from the museum to go in there. And so we were holding back on that pop-up banner for Truth and Reconciliation for the museum.
Mm.
But now that we have those, we should go ahead and do that banner. And so were the banners, my memory is not that great, $300 each?
I believe that's
I believe so. So we need to spend the $300 on that. And I'd like to do a little sign of just stating what these cabinets are.
Okay, yeah.
So I think we would have to spend $350. So I'd like to make a motion that we spend $350 for the Truth and Reconciliation Museum pop-up banner and a sign that goes above the first cabinet explaining that what's the purpose of the cabinets.
Mhm.
And that if people recognize any of the work in the cabinets, we would appreciate them sharing that information with us.
Mhm. I like that idea a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because there's even a photo there. It would be nice if somebody knew who the person in the photo was,
Mhm.
you know? Because it seems like the items are there, but there's no recorded history that goes with each item. So do you want someone to Want to second it? Is that a good enough motion?
Yeah, that's fine. If I do.
350?
Yeah.
All in favor?
Okay, on favor. Okay. All right. We'll wait for Lana to do the update on the event and on the memorial site for number 8, 1 and 2. Okay. Now we'll move on to number 9 for now. And we'll go back to 8 later, when she gets here. So under number 9 is the work plan and the update on the work completed or in progress. And Megan has printed off the work plan. It's getting longer. Look at that. We're on 2 pages. So the first one is, the first initiative is the education campaign and it's ongoing. We have a standee project which has been completed, the mobile museum, the display of cultural items within the municipality, and we just talked about that. And that we have a second display case going into the airport. The update committee terms of reference, review and bringing recommendations to council, and Megan did the update for that, and she attached the the terms of reference here for the TRC committee. And
Yeah, we can actually mark that one completed now. I
pardon?
guess we can actually mark that one completed.
Okay, and then the council corporation budget work plan, terms of reference in the resolution, also attached to our information today. Okay, the public space, ongoing creation of a public space designated for reflection and healing. We talked about garden, a mural, plaque, etc. Work on ideas, relocation of 215 and the memorial, and to look for funding streams once the direction is determined. So, okay, build relationship with local partners. That's another initiative, and provide support where relevant. It's ongoing. We have a relationship with the Blueberry Festival, which takes place in August. Now, one of the events was in Hudson, Rocks to Action, which was very popular, I understand. We had Orange Shirt Day. We partnered with Slifna. And this year, we're going to be seeking partners for the awards event for TRC that we may be holding in the fall. So at the Blueberry Festival, we had a team in the Bannock Bake Off this past August and to 2024, and we came in second, which was pretty good.
Which is pretty good. And
Yeah.
organic was delicious. I have to say.
We had okay, so those are ongoing, building relationships within the community. And a review of municipal policies through a cultural lens is ongoing. We have to work with the cemetery bylaws. More information is requested, a land acknowledgement, which went to council and was approved. So that's ongoing, and there may be changes as we go along. The update of the TRC page on the municipal website is new, and the website will have recent information, activities and events, provide the land acknowledgement, and if approved, with audible demonstration. And the next box, we have the creation of traditional protocols guide, which is new. We're to create information to be shared with the general public regarding traditional protocols, such as information on honorariums, smudging, presenting tobacco, etc. So we have to include traditional protocols when we have elders and traditional people at our events. Okay. And we recognize that as a committee. The Northway Section 1 Cemetery Memorialization and event. event is on hold, and due to the findings of the unmarked graves and the Bringing Home the Children initiative started in Lac Seul. This event is on hold. Once the Bringing Home the Children initiative is well on its way, the timeline for the memorialization will be revisited. So it's currently on hold. We can't really do anything until Lac Seul proceeds with their initiative. We understand it has something to do with the funding from the government, and that it's been capped to a certain amount, and they cannot do the search right now as they are. So, and then the other thing we have here is the Mayor's Truth and Reconciliation Committee for 2016-17. Nice glossy booklet, which was made up with different committee members, and it explains the historical background for Sioux Lookout, what happened with the tribal councils, Sioux Lookout Anti-Racism Committee, the events that led up to some of the activities with the town of Sioux Lookout and the surrounding First Nation community and organizations. The Friendship Accord is in here. And then the Indian Residential School Truth and Reconciliation, some of the mention of calls to action, who was on the Truth and Reconciliation, the subcommittees, some of the initiatives. The open house, that was a good idea.
There's Lana.
Mhm.
Hey, that's okay.
Yeah.
We were trying yesterday, didn't exist, and then I'm a day behind.
We have time, just because you speaking got my mind running about the Rocks Action event for this. So we're hosting a Hudson Block on Monday, August the 4th, which is like the holiday. Do we want to do the Rocks Action on the same day?
Ooh, I think so.
Yeah, because since we're all gonna have like everybody out and about.
It would be like a booth there.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, that's-
When is this?
Monday, August 4th.
August.
and that's during the festival.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what I could do for next meeting is prepare
When did we have it last year? Like what day of the week was it? Was it a Saturday?
I think it was a Sunday.
Was it a Sunday?
Yeah.
Because we had a lot of children. So do you think if we do it on a weekday, will we have the children?
I mean, because like the Monday is the holiday, right? So
Oh, it's a holiday, so.
yeah, it's a holiday,
Okay,
yeah.
so Daycare will be closed and people will be off work. Okay.
Yeah, so I'll prepare the Blueberry Festival event write up, and I'll bring it to the next meeting.
And maybe in your ad, because we did have like a residential school survivor just happen to pop by and tell stories. We should maybe advertise that we're doing that, because we sort of talked about like getting a fire and having like a little circle.
Survivor Circle, yeah. Sounds good.
Then you had somebody come, an elder come and explain about the
Yeah.
rocks, right?
Yeah.
The teaching?
Yeah.
You should
we recorded
include
that.
That again.
Yes, we need a teaching. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and then the last part of this booklet here has Schedule A, which is the Mayor's Committee on Truth and Reconciliation, recommendations to council, and all the, some of the call to actions that are relevant to the municipality are included under different things like education. Number 8, call to action. Number 11, call to action funding with post-secondary education, health, justice. Call to action 41, 47, royal proclamation, public servants, missing children, and then National Center for Truth and Reconciliation, sports. And then call to action number 88, athletes, sports again. So some of the relevant calls to action that Sioux Lookout, the municipality can can try to address is in here, so. Very interesting booklet. I don't know if we wanna look at doing something like that again, or.
Well, how many are there of them? She found them like in her office.
Maybe about 30 in here.
So it might be a good idea for us to bring them to our Bannock Bake Off, some of them to the Bannock Bake Off and to the Rocks for Action.
Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe even a couple to our TRC gala.
Well, I think you've got to remember too, you've got the committee members in here from
Yeah,
back then.
yeah,
The CAO from back then.
yeah.
Okay.
But it's just a history piece, like this is history, not, we could even put one in our cabinet.
Mhm.
Yeah, in the cabinet, yeah, that's good, yeah, yeah.
It's the
Like
history, how it
history.
started, like this is it. And we'll make that clear that this is a history piece, right?
Mhm.
It's not, you know.
And then it actually says that the date on here, 2016
Yeah.
to 17, so it's
Yeah.
almost 10 years.
10 years, yeah.
Yeah.
Might be really worthwhile at some point us redoing one of these,
Yeah, we're doing one.
checking, how are we doing?
Might be good to connect it with the traditional protocol guide. So if you kind of combine them.
But the only thing about the traditional protocol guide is we want it to be small. So that you can hand it to people, and if they're doing an event, they just have like a 1-page thing that they can, you don't want to overwhelm them, right? Yeah.
Right. Well, we zoom by, 8. And, so we're done with the, work plan.
Yeah.
Anybody? Oh, no, wait a minute. Yeah. So we're done with the work plan? Yeah, okay. All right, so we'll go back to number 8. And, we want to talk about 8.1, the update on the gala, so.
So, we did have our meeting, at the chamber, so to get things moving,
Mhm.
the chamber will, I guess spearhead, be the lead
Oh, okay.
organize, group. And so we have 2 staff that are working out of the TIC right now that can help support like some of the emailing and inviting everybody. So I just had to get that approved by the chamber board so that you'll see some stuff going out in the next couple of weeks. We're just wrapping up some tourism stuff that we're doing. And then who from here wants to be included on that?
I can help.
Okay.
I know we have like a ton of working groups and
Yeah. And we should almost like you should separate like the event and the awards. Like, you know what I mean? Like the logistics of getting the hall, getting the food, and then a different group doing the awards.
oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So like Darlene might want to be on, do you want to be on the awards part of it?
Once we get organizations and everybody on board, then we can kind of maybe have a little side group.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So, okay, so that'll get started here right away. What's that update on it?
The date, should we not solidify a date as soon as possible?
Yeah, so we'll do that at our first meeting. Well, and space too.
Yeah, date and space.
We're really limited.
Now, do you want me, like, because I've worked with 7 Gens, do you want me to reach out to 7 Gens?
Sure.
Right, to, okay,
Yeah.
as long as he's still there. And is it safe for me to say that we're gonna do it in November and we'll,
Yeah, in between, yeah, the one when I talked to the chamber, because we're looking at doing another like events calendar like we did last year. So yeah, there's the gap.
no, when is Lobster Fest? Is it?
September.
It's in September, okay, I just want to make sure there's enough time between. the two events.
All the events.
Yeah,
And then hopefully this will be another big event, right?
yeah. So that, yeah, we'll get that kicked off here right away. You'll see emails going out. And then once we have meetings, we'll update the committee as we go along. And then that's pretty much it for the gala. And then number two, that was, I was gonna speak to that. So I've had a few discussions. I've been talking to various people, and so this is what I'm proposing, and I haven't gotten anything in writing because still have to talk, make sure everything's good with the municipality and with the, I'll say the group, because we don't know who the, just to make sure when and if we do this, it's done in a, a good way. So, the idea I had was there's a spot over by the Travel Information Center that overlooks the water that, and it doesn't have to be there, but it's a site that it gets their staff, town staff who cut the grass there, take care of it. And what I was thinking is why not still do the shoes and move everything, but have something built up so we plant orange flowers and stuff in a big part. So it's something that it's easy to maintain, still really beautiful, and then maybe we can like add to it.
Yeah.
So, just because I think that the property at the information center has so much potential.
Yeah.
Maybe something, where we start with the flowers, we could get a bench out there, there's parking. And it's just the water is right there too.
And a playground for the kids.
Yeah. So I like the town beach is a good spot, but it's like an event space, whereas this one I just think this location would be more intimate for people to go, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
And I think that the info center, like that area has been sort of vandalized free.
yeah,
Yeah, like you haven't experienced a lot of vandalism like they have at. the
no.
beach, so it's sort of a really good space and it's in walking distance. So
Still in walking
still
distance, and yeah, and it could have,
accessible, yeah.
evolved into something really, really nice out there. So, and I thought flowers would be easy to maintain every year with the shoes and whatever,
And would they be perennial flowers or would they be annual flowers? Like ones that pop up every year?
See, I'm not sure.
But I don't know whether, I can't think of an orange flower that's
Yeah.
The only
tiger lily.
orange flower.
Is tiger lily, yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe
just
go
that
orange, Mary.
comes up around I don't know when.
In the spring, don't they? Or in like
Uh,
early summer?
Would like
I
sage.
heard I was at a meeting with I sit on the Annan Advisory Council, and we consist of, there's 13 of us, I think. Most of us are survivors from the different land communities. So we meet quarterly, sometimes in person, but their funding has kind of also been affected by that cap for the missing and unmarked burials, and that's how we were meeting in person all the time. But anyway, the deputy grand chief, Anna Betty Ashni-Benashcom, she mentioned those orange flowers, and she said that that's the one thing that she wanted to have included in our whatever materials, that because when she left for residential school or something like that, that it reminded her those flowers were always there.
I wonder if she's talking about the ones that grow, like don't they, that grow, there's a wildflower that's orange.
Yeah,
but
in
I
the fall.
Yeah,
I think
but I don't,
something
but I've never seen those domesticated. Like you can't, like where would you
Oh, I
buy
didn't.
those?
Yeah,
But it would but we could find some,
Yeah.
to the nursery. I think they should be a perennial because the problem with an annual is it's a huge cost every year, so then we would be
Yeah.
for that cost.
Like that.
Where if you like
Mhm.
a tiger lily duplicates itself over and over.
Yeah, yeah.
And it grows every year. So you need a plant that grows or self-seeds itself.
Yeah,
But it'd be interesting to get some of those wildflowers in there with tiger lilies.
yeah,
You know, somehow we'd have to find someone who's
the orange.
good with plants.
Who's good with plants?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. I garden, but I'm not that good at it.
I don't-
I do it.
I could talk to the people at Schmidt's there.
And see what they recommend and see what the cost would be
Mhm.
to, for the original purchase, because, you know, the first year it might be a little bit sparser, but as you go,
It'll, yeah,
it'll fit in.
that's kind of what I was
Yeah,
kind of.
that's a great idea.
And the like chamber group was pretty excited about that and just, yeah, there's so much space.
Yeah, there's so much space there.
What I'll do is I'll have to talk to the town first.
Yeah.
And get that, because it's something we might be able to pull off, like.
Yeah, we could pull it off. Yeah.
This year?
So, yeah,
Oh, okay.
because it would be essentially a big flower bed, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So, but let me get everything in order first. I'll take some pictures of the site. And then I don't know how, once I get that in place, and then we'll figure out how like the group
Logistics.
originators.
Yeah.
If that's okay, if people are okay with that. I don't wanna, you know.
Yeah.
That's kind of where that was going.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So,
Exciting.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, yeah.
So we got a couple of good things to look forward to. And- Okay. Do you have any questions about anything?
mm,
Looks like great.
Yeah, so we're gonna spend $250 and see how many we can get and get them out to businesses.
Yeah.
And they would be a quarter of the size.
Very nice. Yeah, so that's about it. We went over the work plan. And it looks really good. Couple of new things. The municipal website, updated website, and then the creation of traditional protocols and yeah, the memorialization event for the cemetery has been on hold until we get word on what last Sewell situation is with the funding. And yeah, so that's good. There you go.
Did we
Yeah.
ever get an update about the signs that the high school did?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I remember I reached out to Public Works back in the fall and they said that they would be on it, but I think winter came and
And then, yeah,
yeah, you know what? Yeah,
everybody is short-staffed and
Yeah.
whatever, but
yeah,
just now that it's trying to be spring.
it's trying to.
Yeah, and it was, we're almost a year since we received them.
Yeah, to know that, that,
And so-
yeah. And they have to redo the back in like the frame,
Yeah.
but I mean, that should be done soon. Yeah, I'll email Brian because I've been
Yeah.
on with
Yeah.
that
Even,
previously.
Yeah.
Cause those should be going up soon, yeah.
and if they can't do it, like, we maybe need to find volunteers to rebuild the sign.
The
Like,
sign, like is,
Like
like
the structure.
signs, yeah, it's just like
The
the
structure,
structure has to be redone, yeah,
Yeah. because it's probably 30 years old.
yeah.
Cause that'd be nice to get a picture of that with the kids and
Yeah.
kind of put on like our little portion of the website, like.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That's a really nice signs, right? Yeah.
You want me to just reach out to Brian?
Could you please?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. I also just sent Jeremy McDonald a Facebook message just saying, can you email HR and say that you give them permission to use the photo you taken of the 215 shoes that Ariel shot.
I did get Chris to take a look at the picture to make sure people in it were far enough away to be considered not recognizable as far as the angle waiver goes, and he said we're fine.
Yeah.
Because we don't have to identify who they are. But if we know who they are and they want, they could have their name out there if they sign something.
Yeah, good to know, yeah.
Can't think of anything else that we need to talk about right now. Well, I guess we're on number 10, the next meeting date, May 13th, 2025,
And that's a Tuesday, right?
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Hopefully by then there'll be no snow.
Tuesday. And before we close off the meeting, are there any more questions or comments? No? Okay. All right then, we're at number 11 now, the motion to adjourn moved by Alan, second by Reese. And all in favor, yes, everybody, yeah. Okay, we're adjourning the meeting for April 15th.